What? Problems with bar chords? Need something to keep you working on them? Then give this classic 12-bar blues chord progression a shot. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to play a classic Elvis, classic Little Richard, and many more classic rock and roll tunes. We're going to look at the classic 12-bar blues chord progression in the key of C. And for the key of C, you're going to need 3 chords, C, F, and G. And the C chord we're going to play in the open position up here, like that. We're also going to use a C7 chord, which adds a little bit of tension to this progression, and it's absolutely fantastic, but it's optional. So as I said, the C is in the open position, but it's the F and the G chord that we're going to use an E-shaped bar chord. Now, if you're not sure how to play an E-shaped bar chord, in fact, if you're not sure how to play C or C7, there are some links down below for beginner guitar lessons. Not only are bar chords pretty tricky to form when you're getting started, but they're also quite difficult to transition from and to other chords. And after I've shown you this 12-bar blues chord progression, I'll give you a few tips on how to make the changes a little bit smoother. The 12-bar blues is a classic chord progression, and it forms the basis of so many classic rock songs, rock and roll songs through the years. The progression looks just like this, and you can see the C, the F, the G. There's also a C7 in there, as I said before, to kind of spice it up. However, you can play this chord progression without the C7th, but in my opinion, I think it sounds a little bit better. So I'm going to play this chord progression through just once using C, C7, and then the 2 bar chords of F and G. So I'll get back to you in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was a 12-bar blues chord progression, but just remember, when you're practicing this, keep the rhythm smooth, keep the rhythm constant. Don't speed up, don't slow down. Doesn't matter what kind of strumming pattern you're using. Remember, you're the rhythm guitarist and you've got to stay in time. And this is a tip for going from the C or the C7 to the F bar chord. So here's the C chord. Now what you're going to do to go to F is you're going to take off everything except the 3rd finger, because that's going to put you in position for the bar chord. So once you've got that, the rest of the chord can come down. And it works exactly the same when you go back to C from F. So take everything off except the 3rd finger, and then there you are. So when changing from C to G bar chord, you've got the C chord here in the open position. Now again, like with C to F, take everything off, but leave the 3rd finger there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to slide that up 2 frets. That'll put you in position for the G bar chord, like that there. The same thing applies going back down to C. You can take everything but the 3rd finger off, slide down 2 frets, and there you go. Of course, if you're comfortable playing the C chord, then you don't need to worry about keeping that 3rd finger on when going back from the G chord. So the end of the 12-bar blues chord progression, you're going from G to F to C. And the transition from G to F, the G bar chord, so here you are here at the 3rd fret. What you're going to do is, after you finish playing the chord, relax your hand, like so. It'll stop the sound of the chord, and then slide down 2 frets, and then apply pressure again to get the chord. And that, of course, will work, you know, if you're going up from F to G, or back down again. Just relax your fingers and then slide up if you're going from F to G, or relax and slide down if you're going from G to F. If you can keep a finger on the fretboard when you're changing from one chord to another, no matter what the chord is, then do so. Especially when you're starting out. You really don't want to be taking everything off if it's not necessary. Because remember, as a beginner guitarist, you know, it's difficult going from one chord to another. So anchoring yourself with one finger, so for example, from the C to the F, you're using the third finger. That's a great way to keep you close to the fretboard. So don't take your hand off because you'll end up having to work harder. And secondly, it's just silly. As I said earlier, the 12-bar blues is a classic chord progression and used in so many different songs. And the version that you've got in this video is the same as the version used by Elvis on Hound Dog and Little Richard on Lucille, which is probably one of my all-time favourite rock and roll songs. There are links to those two songs, so why don't you check them out and play along with them. They're great fun. Or if you feel like doing a little bit more practice on bar chords, then check out this playlist here. Thanks for watching. Happy strumming.